First of all, I want to thank y'all for coming out. I'm Bill Salisbury. I'm the Berkeley County Coroner, and I'm also the Chief of the Volunteer Rescue Squad. On Saturday, October the 7th, at approximately 12:15, our 911 dispatcher received the call that 4 divers were diving in the Cooper River, and 3 came up. Apparently, they went down about 9:45. The 3 came up at 11 o'clock. The dive master waited an hour searching and making sure that the man was actually in trouble before he punched the panic button. And he called the 911 dispatcher at 12:15. We immediately responded, the Berkeley County Rescue Squad, Department of Natural Resources, and the Berkeley County Sheriff's Office, and started our search. We notified the Coast Guard. They assisted in the search, and we used side scan sonars. We used surface craft searching the river. We used the helicopter from the Coast Guard searching the banks, and we used divers. The water was real swift. Diving was very hazardous. I understand that the current on the bottom was 11.5 knots, and that's pretty swift and pretty dangerous for divers. We continued our search until dusk Saturday, resumed it Sunday morning, and searched all day Sunday, basically using the divers and the aircraft and the boat patrols, and stopped at dusk at Sunday and started back again Monday in the rain. We had members of the Berkeley County Sheriff's Office in a boat, a patrol boat, and also the Charleston County Sheriff's Office was in a patrol boat. Approximately 12:27 today, the 2 boats, the Charleston County and the Berkeley County Sheriff's boats, located the body. The body floated up in the immediate area of where he was diving. He's been identified by the coroner's office as 59-year-old Clark Fletcher of Hickory, North Carolina. He was a certified diver. He had about 70 dives on his logbook. With me, I have First Sergeant Brian Crawford of DNR. I also have Sheriff Lewis, and I think Sheriff Lewis has a few things that he would like to say. Who else do I have standing back here? I got Major Baker also. I'm sorry, I didn't know he was behind me.
Thank you, Bill. I just want to say that this exhaustive search was completed by members of the Sheriff's Office, the Rescue Squad, DNR, Charleston County Sheriff's Office, Coast Guard, and Charleston Police. It was a wide area there. The water was swift. We used our divers until they were exhausted. We brought in additional divers at different times during those days. And the point I wanted to make is a lot of effort went into this. It was a team effort between all the agencies that are here and that were there on the scene. It was not the ideal conditions to dive, to rescue dive or search dive. As Mr. Salisbury mentioned, the visibility was almost zero, and the current was very, very swift and dangerous. So we had to put a number of divers down for short periods of time because of exhaustion, bring them up, put new divers back in, and we did that until today. So a lot of effort went into it. It's a tragedy that it occurred. This gentleman, Mr. Fletcher, was an experienced diver. Although I don't know how many times he's dove in this particular area, but it can be dangerous. I wanted to point out also that we received numerous calls from the local dive team groups all over Charleston and Berkeley County. They wanted to help us and assist us, and also provided us with information that was helpful about that particular part of the Cooper River, and because they have all dove there obviously over the years. So we got a lot of community help and information about that particular part of the river. which was helpful to us. You have to think about it like, you know, when you have a situation like this occur, it's a wide area and you got the current that's moving really, really fast. Not only danger for the divers, but the boat operators and actual public inside of the in the river itself. So, but everyone came together to do this rescue and recovery, and again, we're appreciative for the support of the local dive community for helping us as well. So, I'll take any questions.
So kind of a moral of the story, don't do this, don't dive at this point in time. I know there were multiple people and he was the only one. Is there something that could have prevented this?
At this point, you know, I do not know, or we don't know exactly why. There's all kind of factors involved when you're under the water. As I understand, the visibility, the current, what may be below the surface, and all those things. You know, I think the coroner's office is looking at all that. You know, we've provided some investigative assistance and some support through our master divers with the sheriff's office, so they'll be looking at all that. I don't think there was anything that indicated that there was any immediate problem with the dive itself, and it could be just one of those things that happened. Again, the water's very, very swift there, especially when the tide is going out. We saw very swift water in that particular area.
Given the visibility and maybe the swiftness of the water, the dangers of the dive itself, why is it such a popular area to dive, and why do people go there?
I think it has a lot to do with the artifacts that are spread out along that part of the river. We have a lot of local dive enthusiasts here in Berkeley County, which is why I know a little bit about the area and what they do. There is a number of artifacts, different you know, shark's teeth and pottery shards and different things that they find, bottles and all, because again, that part of the river is an old part of the Cooper River. So you think times past, a lot of things and people have come through that area over the last couple hundred years.
Let me say something, Sheriff.
Yes.
One thing I want to add, that this gentleman was diving with a commercial dive master. Therefore, the United States Coast Guard has jurisdiction. So they are actually doing the investigation on what caused his death. The Sheriff's Office has been very helpful, and his dive team with helping us document everything. Once, even after the body was found, we documented everything as we removed the equipment from him and all. But the Coast Guard will be doing the actual investigation. I will be sending him to the Medical University of South Carolina to conduct an autopsy tomorrow. Of course, you all know that the results of the autopsy may take several weeks, because part of that is the toxicology test, and that takes the time. But once we receive the results back, if we get anything preliminary, I'll release it tomorrow to y'all. But Coast Guard has been great to work with. The Sheriff's Office has been great to work with. DNR, we have all come together in Berkeley County as a team to get the job done, and I'm proud to be a part of that team.
Do we know if the whole entire dive team that he was with, were they all from North Carolina? Did they come together?
Repeat that a little louder.
Was the entire dive team, were they all from North Carolina? Did they come together?
I'm not sure if they were all from North Carolina. I know that Mr. Fletcher came down with a friend of his, and he was from North Carolina. I know that two of them were. I think that several of them dove together. I don't know if the entire team were diving together, but I think they dove around at different places in different areas.
What's the proper spelling of his name? Do you have that?
The proper what?
Spelling of his name?
All right, his last name is Fletcher, F-L-E-T-C-H-E-R. First name Clark, C-L-A-R-K.
Any information about who he leaves behind, kids, wife, family members? Do we know that?
You're gonna have to speak up, girl. I'm old and hard of hearing.
Who he left behind? Do we know if he has kids or?
He did have two adult children. I met with his son and his daughter yesterday, and they came down, and of course we gave them all the information that we had, and they chose to go back home to their mother Mr. Fletcher's wife was still in North Carolina, and they chose to go back last night and be with her. But I have spoken with the son and all of the family, and they are aware of us being able to locate him. Any other questions? Look here, I can't emphasize enough the teamwork. That's the one thing I want you all to mention is the teamwork in Berkeley County with all the agencies, how we all work together, not only DNR and the sheriff, but Charleston County Sheriff, Charleston City Sheriff, and the fire departments and everybody. We work together as a team to get the job done, and that means a lot to me. Thank you all for coming.